Hello everybody, welcome to Chinese Pod. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
And today we're going to cover a series of the most common question that I'm asked when I teach Chinese, which is, what is going on with these tones and why do they change all the time? So it's already hard enough to get these 5 different tones, to recognize the difference, to memorize them, to say them. And then when you say it, everything sounds different. The third tone sounds like a second tone. There are all these exceptions, and you must have come across the same situation before.
Yes, that's definitely a common problem because you have those words that do change tones whenever they're paired with some other words. And this is it's problematic, it's troublesome because you have those rules as well, which you learn in your textbook or in classes, wherever. But when you start to think about it too much, or when you have a conversation and you think about, okay, which tone do I have to say together, then of course it won't work. You will get out of your flow and it will just be a hassle. So we think it's better that we just pick out some of those common phrases together and then just repeat them over and over so that you don't have to think about those examples anymore, just that you have it in your head already.
Yeah, and I think the context is really everything. So wherever this phrase fits in, whether it's with a longer phrase or it's with a sentence, once you hear and practice speaking it, then you'll definitely get the flow. And just a note though, when we do these tone changes, the pinyin always stays the same. It's just that when we speak it, it changes. So when you read it and you see the pinyin and you write it, it's still always going to be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and preview what we're going to cover in this series. We have tone changes for the word 不.
不.
不, so no. 不, and phrases that come with that. We have 一, one, or a little bit, depending on the context. And we also are going to cover when 2 third tones are placed together, how that tone change varies, and when 3 third tones are placed together. Okay, so go ahead and watch the videos in this series. Feel free to watch it a few times, practice with us in the drills, and I hope you enjoy this process. Let's get to it. Today we're going to talk about the first word that has a tone change, and this is the most common word you'll hear in the Chinese language, and that's 不.
不.
No.
Yeah, no, it just means no.
Negate everything. Can I do this? 不行,不要,不能, no.
不行,不要, no. 不. So 不 is the word we are talking about now.
So there are 2 different ways to pronounce the word 不. Now in the dictionary, it's always going to be the pinyin 4th tone, 不. But then in the variation, it becomes 不, which is 2nd tone. So 不 and 不. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few phrases and I'm going to start and you can fill in some words. I'm going to start with the traditional 4th tone, 不.
不能.
No. You can ask me one too.
不
好. 不好.
不好.
不.
错.
Oh, eh? So actually, he went to the second one, which is a tone variation. It changes into the 2nd tone. That sounds like 不错.
Oh yeah, 不错. It's not 不错.
Yeah, because then you sound really angry. 不错, it's like 不错. Okay, what's another one with the 2nd tone then? 不
对.
不对. Good. I have another one. 不是.
不是. Yeah, that's the 2nd tone as well.
And then one more. 不
用. Did we have 用?
用. Yeah, that's good. So we have
不用.
2 different types. You might have been able to hear the sounds. The first one was like 不能,不好. The second one goes into the 2nd tones. 不错,不对. And we're going to focus on the 2nd series, which is the tone change afterwards. And we're going to give you a few words so that you can practice with some sound drills and just get used to how it sounds and how it's changed. All right, so we've got the first one. That's 不错,不错,
不错,不错,
不错,不, no, 错 is wrong. Not wrong, so actually not bad. Okay, the second one is common. 不是,不是,
不是,不是. 是 means to be, so 不是 means not to be. So it's basically no.
No. And it's interesting because there's so many different kinds of no. I don't want,
true.
can't use, don't need.
But we don't have to deal with that right now.
don't have to
So
deal
right
with that
now,
right now.
just the tones. 不是,
不是. One more for you. 不对.不对.
Yeah, that's the one I just mentioned, right? 对 means correct. So 不对 means incorrect, not correct.
And you hear that a lot if you study Chinese.
Especially when you have like maybe some tiger mom,
Tiger teachers.
parents, teachers.
不对.
不对.
Slap your wrist. 不对.不对.
Nah,
不
those,
对.
those
Do it
times are
again.
over.
Those times are over.
不对.
Thankfully. All right. 不要.不要.
不要,不要. That means I don't want to or no need. 不要. Because 要 means I want to.
不会.不会.
不会,不会. 会 means can or will do something. So 不会 can mean I cannot do this or I don't want to do this. It won't happen. Can have a couple of meanings.
All right. 不去.不去.
不去,不去. 去 means to go. So 不去 means not to go or to not go.
不用.不用.
不用,不用. 用 means to use and 不用 means like not to use. And you can often use that when somebody asks you, oh, do you want something?
Yeah, this is how they get the Chinglish grammar. No need.
No need, no,
No
need.
need. Literally
不用.
no need.
No, I don't need that.
No need to
不
use.
用.
不用. And finally, I have one which is 3 words, and this is not to negate somebody, but just to be polite, and you want to say it often, and it means no need to be polite, or you're welcome. That's 不客气.不客气.
不客气,不客气,
哦，谢谢 Joe.
不客气.
Okay, so we've got that tone change. We go from the 4th tone, that's 不, into 不, the 2nd tone. So when do we do that tone change? It's when the second word is the 4th tone. So for example, we had 不要. Instead of 不要, we say 不要, which is 2nd tone, 4th tone. 2nd tone, 4th tone. 不要. All right, so that's it for today in our tone series for the word 不. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
Bye-bye.
Chinese pot, Chinese pot.